Lizzie, I never gave you account of my wedding, I believe. You were not by when I told Mama and all the others about it. Are you not curious how it was to be managed? No, not really, replied Elizabeth. I think there can't be too little said on the subject. You're so strange, but I must tell you how it went off. We were married, at St. Clement's because Wickham's lodgings were in that parish, and it was settled that we should be there by 11 o'clock. My aunt and uncle and I were to go together, and the others were to meet us at the church. Well, Monday morning came, and I was in such a fuss. I was so afraid, that something would put it off, and then I should have been quite distracted. And there was my aunt all the time I was dressing, preaching, and talking away, just as if she was reading a sermon. However, I did not hear her above 1 word in 10, for I was thinking, as you may suppose, of my dear Wickham. I longed to know whether he would be married in his blue coat. Well, we breakfasted at 10, as usual, and I thought it would never be over. For, by the by, to understand that my uncle and aunt were horrid, unpleasant, all the time I was with them. If you'll believe me, I did not once put my foot out of doors, though I was there a fortnight. Not one party or scheme or anything. To be sure, London was rather thin, but, however, the little theatre was open. Well, so just as the carriage came to the door, my uncle was called away upon business to that horrid man, Mr. Stone. And then, when once they got back together, there's no end of it. Well, I was so frightened, I didn't know what to do, for my uncle was to give me away. And if we were beyond the hour, we could not be married all day. But luckily, he came back in 10 minutes' time, and then we all set out. However, I recollected afterwards that if he had been prevented going, the wedding need not be put off, for Mr. Darcy might have done as well. Mr. Darcy, repeated Elizabeth in utter amazement. Oh, yes, he was there with Wickham, but gracious me, I quite forgot. I ought not to have said a word about it. I promised him so faithfully. What did Wickham say? It was to be such a secret. If it was to be a secret, said Jane, say not another word on the subject, and you may depend on my seeking no further. Oh, certainly, said Elizabeth, though burning with curiosity. We'll ask you no more questions. Oh, thank you, said Lydia, for if you did, I should certainly tell you all, and then Wickham would be very angry.